His word, they're preparing for a 7th launch. Is this Kim Jong-il's bluster, or do we have a very serious national security problem on our hands? Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Joe Sestak of Pennsylvania, who before coming to Congress was a 3-star admiral and commanded an aircraft carrier battle group. Congressman, it's good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
Well, what do you think? I mean, there have been cases in the past where we see a lot of bluster from North Korea. Then they just really want to draw people to the table, or they're looking for some financial help, and they really don't go forward with it. But this seems to be, at least initially, something very different.
You're right. I mean, this is probably, since the present leader of North Korea has been in power, one of the more erratic series of events we have seen. All that said, we also know that internally there appears to be going over a succession fight, where the third son may end up to be appointed the leader, and one other son seems to be vying for power. In the middle of all this, the military, for the very first time the last few months ever, has stepped up and been making belligerent statements. So there seems, not unlike you see in American politics, a strategic pause in their country where they're vying for who can be harder anti-U.S. I think, therefore, the United States has to be very careful and deliberate about what's not an immediate threat, but is truly a security challenge. What
do we need to be doing militarily to prepare for, some of the actions that might take place here?
Without a question, we need to continue and maybe even move a few additional assets, some of which have been moved to the Central Front of Terrorism in AFPAC, Afghanistan-Pakistan area, to making sure that we're watching carefully any type of military movement. But the most I think you're going to see is what happened in 1999 and early 2001, I think it was, is some smaller naval clashes in the western oceans off of Korea. In fact, if you noticed the other day, North Korea actually established a illegal economic exclusion zone that impacts the legal waters of South Korea. That's probably where you're going to see a little bit more tussling about. But right now, it's intelligence gathering.
Let me change topics, because many people have said, sir, that you're going to run for the U.S. Senate and will probably be a primary challenger for Senator Arlen Specter. Can you confirm that for us?
I can confirm that I have been extremely seriously, thoughtfully, deliberately looking at that, and my personal intentions is to step into this following a serious, deliberate, thoughtful discussion with my family. And I want to make it very clear, Brian, this is not about me or my time, as was said the other evening. This is about us Pennsylvanians, where over the next 4 to 6 years, the government, for better or for worse, our federal government will be retooling our economy in healthcare, education, energy. And who we have in the Senate will make a big impact during that time for the future of our children.
Let me jump in, because you were quoted as saying something on a radio show with Alan Colmes last night about your potential primary opponent, Senator Arlen Specter, a man who just became a Democrat. And you say you think he's being sort of selfish in all of this?
No, I don't think I used that term at all. I was asked 3 times, is he self-serving by Alan? And I said to him, look, I have respect for Arlen. He's done good things in the past. But when he said he did not want his legacy to be determined by the Republican Party, he decided that's why he had to change. And I said that, look, it's not about Arlen's job, as much as we can respect what he's done in the past. It's about the jobs that his and other votes with President Bush have caused us to lose in this recession, and how do we best go forward in the future.
Did you get asked not to run against Arlen Specter?
I have not been asked by anyone who is in the Washington establishment who has been elected, nor in the Pennsylvanians that has been elected.
Well, somebody apparently asked you. Who was it?
There have been people in the establishment, I would say, of Pennsylvanians, because Arlen's been around for 4 or 5 decades, and he knows the establishment, and they are people who often give money, that they just didn't want me to run. I understand that, and that's actually what's even moved me more into this race, because I was so disappointed that Washington, D.C., my party, the Democratic Party, could actually think they could anoint someone for us independent-minded Pennsylvanians. I think it's our choice. And this is not something I thought I was going to be doing a few months ago. And so that's, yes, there have been calls that people have said, Joe, look, how about not doing this? It's not your time or anything. It's not. It's Pennsylvanians' time, and that's what's moved me to this more than anything else, and why I originally got into politics.
I got to leave it right there. I got to, because we are out of time. But Congressman, good luck on whatever you finally decide. Sounds like you sort of made up your mind there. Fair and balanced, Republican Congressman Ed Royce said.